hats off to Greg Biffle, baby. I tell you what, the Biff is doing big things up there, trying to help out North Carolina, man, with his own helicopter and trying to save folks the best he can and pick survivors up and doing his thing. So hats off to them. Hopefully a lot of the other drivers are doing what they can do too. I mean, these are all guys, that's community. What they've lost, I don't even think you can really fathom. What's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here, Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another episode of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting. Man, what a Wednesday it is. I tell you what, great time up here with my man LB, hanging out, loving the environment up here at Coach's Corner. If you're out and about tonight, don't feel like cooking dinner, make sure you swing by, man. Check this place out. It is the center of the universe. Thunderbolt, Georgia, baby. So just want to give my thoughts and prayers out there, not only to everybody still up there in North Carolina and Tennessee recovering from hurricane previous, but everybody down there in Florida, man. Thoughts and prayers with you. Batting it down, hold it tight. Hey, if you stayed, it's on you, brother, man. You better be ready to ride it out. That's going to be a wild one down there. So, but thoughts and prayers, hopefully quick recoveries, and minimal loss, man. That's what we're praying for. So getting right into it, man, if you're new to tuning in the show, way we like to start this out, word of the day. Hey, last week's word, Lawrence brought it up to me, is 2311. I mean, we talked a little bit about the lawsuit. We got some more news to go over tonight about that. But if you played along, probably had a good time. But basically the way we play this game is every time I say a word, I have no idea what it is. Lawrence will throw it up. You're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. As I always say, it's age appropriate. If you're under 21, man, stay up late, get some Kool-Aid. I'm pretty sure Chatham County Public School ain't got no school tomorrow, man. So they done called it off. Man, you guys are lucky. I think in the first month and a half, 2 months of school, man, they've been there like 5 weeks out of the 9 they're supposed to, or something crazy, man. They had some days off, man. So you guys lucked out, but make sure you're staying up on those grades. That's what it's all about. Demasi will tell you that. He's coming up behind me, but he'll tell you about that. Stay up with them grades, man. But today's word of the day is going to be, I have no idea, y'all, but every time I say it, take a sip, play along. So getting into that NASCAR news, man. Hey, if you followed along and watched that Talladega race this past weekend, old pretty Ricky Stenhouse, baby, old Stenhouse Jr., wreck 'em Ricky, baby, to the front. I tell you what, man, first win there since 23 Daytona 500. Big deal for that organization. We know sponsorship's changing. A lot of things are changing over there. But I tell you what, that's a great way to go out for a group of guys that's worked a long time together. Hats off to Ricky. Put him place in the right place, right time. Does what he always needs to do at some of those super speedways, man, and found the checkers. And awesome deal for him, man. So glad to see it. Doesn't hurt me any. Good little run there. And, hey, we'll see what he can keep going and doing, man. So a little bit more NASCAR news, man. Eric Jones, new crew chief, man. Ben Bashore, which is not an unfamiliar name, I can promise you that, dude. Ben Bashore is a race-winning crew chief. The man knows what he's doing. Xfinity Series there with John Hunter Nemechek, a lot of wins. Even dabbering his toes in the Cup Series there. Really good crew chief, smart mind. Really good swap, I think. Unfortunately, somebody lost their job there, but when you're affiliated with Toyota and the way you're affiliated with them, they want to win. Toyota wants to win. They're outnumbered there, and they pump a lot of dollars into their programs in NASCAR, so they want to win. I think it's going to be a good fit. I mean, you saw Eric with a really good run this past weekend. I think we have a couple tracks where maybe you'll see something else, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. But yeah, a little shake-up over there at Legacy Motorsports Motor Club for sure. So, hey, man, last charter up for grabs. I mean, this is what we're talking about here, 2311 last week, man. Who's going to buy this last SHR charter? And we all know, 2311 been in that forefront and running. Now, with the lawsuit that's going on with them in front row, how this all plays out depends on how NASCAR deems this responsible, if they're going to buy this charter, or even, I don't even know what'll happen. I mean, they'll get it figured out, I think, before the start of next season. I don't even think it'll be litigation, man. They're going to meet some kind of medium or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's always been NASCAR sandbox, man. If you don't like it, they own it. It's kind of like PGA, right? Until you go start the LIV or whatever it is, until you go start the other golf league, until you go start another Major League Baseball, you got to play by all these rules, man. And look, I'm not down. I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong. But at the end of the day, you sign your name on a dotted line for a contract to go and perform for a sport, own a team for a sport. And it's not like any other sport other than golf. I mean, really, you look at it, baseball teams are owned independently, NFL teams are owned independently, NBA teams are owned independently. Even though NASCAR teams are owned independently, they don't own their own stadiums. They don't own their own racetracks. They don't own their own baseball fields. They don't own their own soccer fields. They don't own these things. NASCAR owns a majority of these tracks alongside a few other teams out there. And unless I think you had a Marcus Smith on board to go, hey, F NASCAR, screw NASCAR, to hell with NASCAR. there it is. There it is. I don't think you really have anything you can really talk about or say. I mean, you can't really change that. So we'll see how it all works out for them. I don't like legalities, man. I don't like that. But at the end of the day, they're feeling the way they feel, and they got a right to do that. But if not, man, keep an eye on RFK. Roush Fenway Keselowski. There's rumors around the garage. Kroger, that longtime sponsor over there on that 47 of Ricky, who I just mentioned, Stenhouse, coming over to RFK next year. So that's big money. We'll see. Maybe they want that third Charger. Maybe they're going to pump somebody up. Maybe Justin Haley and Rick Ware, affiliated with RFK, they come into that and just become one. I don't know what happens, man, but keep an eye on that for sure. So if you haven't yet, go out, like, share, follow, all that social media, y'all. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, everything, man, but Facebook. But most importantly, go out, subscribe to that YouTube channel, like, share, subscribe, follow. Get your grandma in it. Anybody that you know, man. The more eyes, hopefully, we get. We're floating at like 385 right now. We're kind of stoked. I'm trying to break 400 mark before we give everything away. This is going by the end of the year. The shirt's going here. I mean, everything's going by the end of the year. But at the end of the day, man, let's get there. Let's get to 400. Let's get to 424, man. That sounds pretty good. So make sure you're going out there, following it, doing your thing, man. But like I said, share it. A lot of the events here at Coaches, man, I'm just a part of. I'm blessed to be able to come up every Wednesday night and do this during NASCAR and try to raise some money for good causes and get to talk a little news and something I love. And obviously, I love cold beer. You guys see me do that all the time. But at the end of the day, it's something I enjoy doing. It's a community, right? I mean, I grew up here my whole life in the area. We've all done some crazy stuff or some wrong stuff. Man, this is a great time to get back, and this is what we do. This organization and who we raise money for and what organization we raise money for, Coach's family, that's behind the scenes, man. So again, as I always say, it doesn't matter how big, how small, tens, pennies, nickels, dimes, 10, 20s, 150s, whatever you got to give, man, just give it up. Come in here, waitress, waiter, bartender, management, whoever, owner, operators, whoever, man. Tell them you want to donate in, check your flag for charity, throw it in. So that's what it's about, man. But Chris Yates, baby. Representing 2311, speaking of him. And this is a big name attorney coming up in this lawsuit. This is a big name. We were talking about this a little bit before we got on the show. Represents a lot of major sports organizations in these kind of lawsuits. UFC, the ACC, U.S. Soccer Federation. I mean, we can go on. There's more than that. But I tell you what, he knows what he's doing. Now, again, I don't know what it comes down to. That's not my forte by no means. But I'm going to keep you posted right here, so make sure you keep tuning into Rubbin' and Grubbin', baby. So I didn't talk about a lot, any last week. I was going to say a lot, but any last week. Greg Biffle, man, big hats off to Greg Biffle, baby. I tell you what, the Biff is doing big things up there, trying to help out North Carolina, man, with his own helicopter and trying to save folks the best he can and pick survivors up and doing his thing. So hats off to them. Hopefully a lot of the other drivers are doing what they can do too. I mean, these are all guys, that's community. What they've lost, I don't even think you can really fathom the way that went down for them. So, again, thoughts and prayers, and big hats to Biff, man. Stand-up guy right there, and that's what it's all about. You got money, use it. Use it for the good of humanity. That's what it's all about, man. So, Xfinity Series, little news there. Junior Motorsports, man, they're going to appeal this penalty against all that number one on Sam Mayer. They ain't playing with that at Talladega, man. So, he got post-race inspection disqualified for ride height in the rear end. Now, we'll see what happens. We'll see if they can fight it, but usually that doesn't go too good. We appeal and appeal again, and then it's, you pay the dues. So we'll see what happens, man, for sure. last but not least, before we move on, big happy birthday to Harrison Burton out there, baby. You know, not in that playoff run any longer, but hey, got to win this year, and good day for him. But it's his birthday today, so hopefully you're having a good one, brother, and cheers to you, my friend. So moving on to the next segment, the WTF, man, what the France. So this goes back to kind of what happened this past weekend. Denny Hamlin, back to his old antics, really, man, talking about the DVP, which we're going to talk about later a little bit more in depth in my feelings on it, as we did last week. But race-winning race car after post-race inspection had a hole in it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. obviously had some damage from the big contact, the big one that happened. In NASCAR's rule book, it quotes that any damage that is done to foam, it's got to be immediately repaired. You have to come in and repair it, whether it's bare bond or putting foam back in or whatever it is, right? So Denny Hamlin feels like NASCAR should have held him to a standard. He should have come back down to have to repair it, even though he didn't. Disqualified, didn't win the race. All right. Now, I'm going to ask Denny this as a driver. There ain't no damn way in hell, and excuse my language, but there ain't no damn way in hell Denny Hamlin leading the race on that big wreck is about to come down and repair a door that's got a small little hole in it. Is it straight? Are we driving good? Here we go. Somebody's going to push me, right? He ain't coming down now. Now, I respect him in the fact that the rules are the rules, and this is how we have to play the game. We can't keep bending the way that NASCAR is bent this year, which we'll talk about that more in a bit. But obviously, at the end of the day, Denny's not happy, but with me, that's kind of like, what the France, bro? What are we even worried about that? Focus more on winning races and doing good in the race car, and you might win a championship, man. So getting into the checkered flag for charity, baby, my favorite part of the show. Hey, if you're new to tuning in, whatever car number wins that race is what we donate in. $47 for Ricky Stenhouse going in. That brings it up to we're almost at $17.50 right now for this little segment of the show, man. So good little job. We'll have a cooler full of joy up this weekend. Gonna be doing big things. Like I said, subscribe. Ryan Blaney helmet going. The shirt's still going. We got a lot of stuff going, man. We still got a lot of good giveaways. So, again, make sure you're tuning in, following us here on Rubbin' and Grubbin', and make sure you're going out and following Coach's Corner out there on their social medias, man. That's what it's all about, more eyes on what we do here. Hopefully, the more money we raise for good causes, baby. So before we get into that who's hot and who's not, got to give a big shout out there to Arbor Man, my main man, Parker Eccles, owner-operator out there, fully operated, fully insured, right here locally from the Savannah area. Hey, we got some stuff going down. We still might have some more coming up, so you'll see that number scrolling all night. Make sure you give Parker a call over there, Arbor Man. He'd love to come out and give you an estimate on it. Again, the best tree service in Savannah. Number scrolling all night long. As I love to say, no tree too big, too small. Give Parker a call, baby. I love you, man. So getting into that who's hot, baby, as we're heating up, Christopher Bell to me. Christopher Bell is at number one still. 5, 6, 7, I think, last 3 races there. Fighting adversity, coming back, finding a way as a team to get those good finishes. That's what it's all about, to propel yourself into the Final Four. Miami is a good racetrack for him. I feel like Las Vegas would be a good racetrack for him. You know, Martinsville, we know what he can do at New Hampshire. Martinsville, I think this next set of races really looks good for Christopher Bell. I think that's a lock for the 4. So right now, number 1 on my list. 2, William the Kid Byron, a.k.a. Big Hat Byron, baby. I mean, leading the points right now, going in, doing his thing. Again, solid where we go. Miami's going to be a big one. Vegas, I think, is the biggest thing. Maybe a little bit of Martinsville. We know that 24 is historic there, but there was a different guy behind the wheel. So we'll see what he can keep doing. But right now, number 2 on that list. 3 for me, Kyle Young Money Larson, baby. I tell you what, man, a win in 4th place in the last 3 races. We're going to a couple places again. Vegas for sure. Miami, we know he can run that top line. Be on the hunt. That's going to be in a 4, man. So we'll see what he does, but be ready for that 5 to make that Final Four for sure. So getting into the Talladega recap, y'all, I'll tell you what, another great race there at a wild racetrack. We're kind of in that age that we've all know what super speedway racing is, right? I don't think it's ever made anybody happy other than the excitement and the big wrecks and this and that. It's going to be what it's going to be, right? And in this day and age, I think we ride side by side. But, dude, 4 wide at Talladega for a long time, a high amount of laps. These guys are really trying to get it to where it is racy, and everything that's going on is exciting, and what's going on, it still has the same outcome. We wreck and then who survives races to the finish. I mean, that's what it is. It went from aerodynamic and skills to survival. But at the end of the day, it's still exciting. It's still a good race. And obviously the fan environment, though, it's a good turnout for NASCAR. Good look. I love it. Nothing like that in motorsports. So keep it up, Talladega, baby. Like I said, man, great win. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., baby, got that win again. Had the first win since the 523. So good look for that team, and especially with the guy looking for more sponsorship and ride opportunity and doing his thing. So good look for Ricky there, man. A lot of drivers looked to be in a really great place there until they weren't, man. 28 car pile up there towards the end of that race. Nature of the beast. Got to go when it's time to go. You hit somebody wrong sometimes, man. Just what it is. Can't blame anybody. Can't be upset. Just kind of got to do what you got to do, man. Like I said, man, Justin Haley, Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, big shout out to those guys. All top 10 finishes there for those guys. You know, we all know Haley just switched teams. Eric Jones and Austin Dillon, horrible seasons. That's got to be a feel good for those teams. Got to be something they look forward to and can build on, hopefully, for sure. Didn't go without the drama, baby. As we all know, young Ryan Blaney wasn't very happy, as he always likes to do, which 7 DNFs on the season. Lawrence throwing up a Ford symbol. I'll throw $1 in there. But 7 damn DNFs on the season, and somehow you find yourself 6th in the points or 5th in the points. Man, we got to talk about this a little bit later on. But at the end of the day, I will say this, man. Ryan Blaney going down with some drama with Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman, I guess, wrecked the F out of him, which I didn't say it, so I'll save this because we're going to. At the end of the day, man, it is what it is. And we didn't even do a cold list. I ain't even doing a cold list this week because we're in the playoffs, baby. Everything's hot. Tune in to NASCAR. Come out to coaches. That's where it's at, man. So all in all, good race. But at the end of the day, man, I tell you this. If you don't like super speedway racing, you just don't like it. I mean, I'm not the hugest fan of it. I don't think it shows the best talent in the world that we have in NASCAR behind the wheel. I think it is now, it went from saving gas, as we saw early in the year, to, you know, just survival of the fittest. And that's what it's always been in a way for a long time. We all know this, man. I mean, even when we got into the 90s, survival of the fittest. I mean, I think until we got into the 2-car tandem to where we could hook up 2 cars and 2 cars could go, I think it was all the same, man. You just try to make the moves. You push your car there. At the end of the day, you can't decide with the guy behind you how hard he's going to push or what he's going to do. But all in all, great race. I love it. Good for the ratings. Keep it up. Getting into the Roval. This is one of my top 5 least favorite races of the year. I will tell you guys this. Lawrence loves it. I'm just not a fan, man. I'm just not. I don't give a damn about any of the Rovals. Old one, new one, Roval, Schmoval, man, for me. It's just, I don't like it. I think there's a lot better tracks we could go back to a second date here or do something different that would be better. But that's just me. I'm not going to bitch about it. Sorry, I'll use my last $1 there. At the end of the day, should be interesting, man. Aggressive on the restarts. They're going to dive bomb. They're going to cut each other up. And when it comes down to it, it's a cutoff race. So whoever's throat they got to cut, they're going to cut it up, man. Make sure you tune in Sunday. Check that race out. Better yet, come up to Coach's Corner, baby. Savannah's home for NASCAR right here, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Getting into that top 5. Number 1 for me, I got to go with my big dog, Chase Elliott.
Come on, man.
Baby, he's coming forward. I don't think he's ever won the Roval. If he has, hell, it might be something new to me. But he's going to get after it, man. It's time to get after it. It's time to get some stage points, some wins. Another guy that's in those point standings that really needs a really good run is Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick here, road course king as of late. Good run for me, so he'll be second. Got to throw SVG in there. I think this will be something new for him, but he's a quick adapter. We've seen it. You cannot count him out. 4, Christopher Bell, and I can't even believe I put Christopher Bell 4 this far on my list. He might not be on my NASCAR list that deep, but 4 for me, Christopher Bell, 4 sure. Got to be up there. 5, Ryan Blaney. He's deep in those odds, like 4,500 opening odds on NASCAR, baby. If you got $100 right now and you want to bet this weekend, throw it on Ryan Blaney. Put it on him, because I'm telling you right now, he's going to have a good run at the Roval. Dark horses, got to go McDowell. And I think another guy that a lot of people overlook here at the Roval, Martin Truex Jr. I think this might be a strategy call. This might be something that ends up decent race car. Martin Truex Jr. comes home top 5 this week. All right, baby. Getting into that money line presented by Redfin Polarized. But before we do, Whether you got money on the line or a wall hanger, make sure you see it clearly with the best polarized sunglasses on the planet. Redfin polarized, Italian frames, Carl Zeiss lenses. These things are made for the woods of the water, baby. I'm telling you right now. So many styles, so many lens polarization colors you need for all your fishing, hunting, outdoor needs. These boys got you locked in. Some badass styles. Make sure you check it out, redfinpolarized.com. When you find something you like from apparel to those lenses, make sure you type in Rubbin' and Grubbin 15, or Rubbin' and Grubbin, hell, that's it. Save you 15% at checkout, baby. So make sure you hit that up. And again, like I say, man, don't be caught without them. As always, live life fins up, Redfin Polarized, baby. So getting into the money line, SVG opens up as the favorite. That's a bait to me, if you ask me. I mean, the man getting in a cup car and doing this is something totally different. We'll see if he can survive, but that's a bait to me. Look, I will tell you like this. You got to lock him in a way. I'll take him top 3. But Elliott, Reddick, Blaney, those are locks for me. I know it sounds a little crazy. Ty Gibbs will probably be somebody else, man. But at the end of the day, you got to make sure you follow us out there on Twitter. Subscribe to that. Lawrence does a great job of everybody we bet on. That's who goes in. But I will tell you this, man. Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr. will probably be a bet on me. A little $20 bet on me, $10 bet on me. Those odds are too good. Those are guys that have had potential to run good and finish good there. It might be locks for me, man. But make sure you follow that Twitter. Follow us, man, and see what we lock in this weekend for sure. So about to get into that hard right turn, y'all. But before we do, got to give a big shout out. Excuse me, y'all. Lamar's Body Shop, 35 plus years, taking care of Savannah's auto collision needs, the best in the business. Man, Lamar and his team, they don't cut no corners, play no games with you, man. They are locking it down right here. 2301 Skidaway Road, hop, skip, and a jump away from coaches. These, man, are taking care of you. So all your auto collision needs, again, make sure you go see Lamar and his team, 2301 Skidaway Road. As I always say, why settle for par? Go see Lamar, baby. So hard right turn, man. We talked about this a little bit last week, but the DVP, man, the disabled vehicle policy in NASCAR, they got to do away with this stuff of if you get towed to the garage, you're out of the race. I mean, this is what I think the garage is the place you need to go. I think if you're involved in a wreck, as we saw at Talladega, how many cars that got involved in these big wrecks, and maybe it's something we do for certain tracks and some we don't do for others. But at the end of the day, get towed back to the garage. You got a clock. Once they drop your car in your garage stall or wherever you're at, whatever it may be, you know, with X amount of damage. I mean, if you can restart your car and you need to push and all it is flat tires, you have damage to your car, go to the garage. You got 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever the clock is to repair and get on the racetrack again. The race will restart. Wherever you fall back in, fall back in. I mean, I remember the days you had all the time you needed. You could wreck lap 2 and come out at lap 200. It didn't matter. And I think that means a lot, and I think we need to go back to that. I think that takes a lot of points. I think that's kind of BS. We saw the confusion that we saw between Josh Berry and why certain guys, and with the rules we have now, if you make no contact and you have flats, you get a push back, but if you have contact, then this and that. That's all BS, man. Swap it up. I don't agree with cars sitting on pit road for 10 minutes when we have all kinds of things that can happen. A guy come through the infield and grass and wham, bam. I don't agree with that. Let's get behind the wall. Let's go. Let's make a staging area, or let's say garage. The garage is open. You got 10 minutes from the time we drop your car to repair your car. That's just me, but I do know this. NASCAR has a lot of work to do to their DVP. They have a lot of work to do to the rule book. They got to become more strict on the way they govern the rules that are written in the rule book by them. We can't be bending for certain gray areas. It's just one of those things. We have to make it very clear. And we got to go yay and nay, black and white. There can't be a gray that because this happens. Now, again, Austin Dillon's thing, that's a little different. Driver etiquette and driver aggressiveness is one thing, but mechanically, we got to go, if this happens, this is what we got to do. If this happens, this is what we got to do. But I ultimately think, open the garage. You got 10 minutes to fix your car. If you can replace, whatever it may be in your car you need to in 10 minutes and get on the racetrack, you're more than welcome to come back. That's just what I say, man. So that's going to do it for the rubbing. We are on to the grubbing, baby. And look, it's National Pizza and Beer Day, as Lawrence told me. So I don't know if you guys have had one of these yet out of here, but Coach's Corner has some of the best pizza in Savannah. They do it, man. If you know who's in that kitchen whipping up this pizza and you old school around this area, baby, you know the man can whip up some dough. I promise you that. He's been around a long time. And, oh, man. Oh, yeah, baby. A little personal meat lovers for me and a cold Bud Light. This is why I love Lawrence. This is why me and Lawrence vacation together, because I love Lawrence. At the end of the day, man, a meat lovers, bacon, pepperoni, sausage, cooked to the T. This bad boy is it. I had a pizza the other night, which, you know, it's good. I love pizza. I'm like a Ninja Turtle, baby. I love all kinds of pizza. As long as you don't put sardines on it, we're good. I'll eat it with anything else on it, man. But I tell you what, anchovies, same thing to me. Anchovies, sardines. Look, I don't give a damn. I don't like Caesar salad dressing. It got fish in it. I don't like fish. I like fried fish. I'm from here. Fry everything. I don't want it grilled, buttered. I love fish, but fried, Coach. It's got to be like fried grouper, fried catfish, bluegill. You know, it's got to, you know, frog legs I'm down with. Like, you know, it's amphibious. You know, I mean, might have been a fish at one time.
You like that dirty fish, that's
I do, you know, yeah. Gotta like the dirty fish, Coach. But at the end of the day, baby, come up here to Coach's. Check these personal pan pizzas out. They are amazing. Hey, as you just heard me, I'm talking to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Coach Carl DeMasi, coming up right behind me, 7 o'clock, getting ready to do all your needs here. Oh, 6:30 tonight. Coach is getting on early. I love it. Hey, taking care of all your sports needs, local area, talking a little baseball, I'm sure, football, them dogs. And as I mentioned, them dogs, I didn't even predict the score this week. Big win for us against Auburn. I hate it for all those Tide fans out there. I remember what it feels like to lose to Vandy, and it's not a good feeling. I've been there, man, so hats off. I love you guys. But at the end of the day, Dogs, Mississippi State, Battle of the Bulldogs. We're 32 points favorite. I'm going to go 48-10. 48-10 this week, baby. Georgia whooping them. At the end of the day, hey, Saturday night, got something good to come out. Excitable. Def Leppard tribute band, baby. I'm telling you, it is what it's all about. Putting on a great show here at Coach's Corner in the Sound Garden. They are amazing. If you haven't seen them, make sure you come out. I think I-95 is giving away tickets. I don't think they're in office tomorrow, but Friday will be your next opportunity. Still got some tickets to give away, man, so make sure you're checking that out. But at the end of the day, Coach's Corner, the Sound Garden, best place for live music here in Savannah. Come out, support that local restaurant, baby. I'm out of here. I'm getting ready to eat a slice of this pizza, go inside, talk some NASCAR, do a little NFL football, and then I'm going to the house, baby. That's it for me tonight. But at the end of the day, again, make sure you're checking in on those loved ones. If you got loved ones out there, make sure you're calling, checking in on them, man. You know, again, let's come together. We see all this tragedy that goes around the world, and we can't prevent it. It's Mother Nature, right? But we can come together to help, you know, rebuild from it. And we see all these northern communities in North Carolina and Tennessee, and even here in our own, all these people that, you know, are going through things, you know, housing and power. And, you know, coming together as a community is what it's all about. We have to keep that sense of community, man. If we become so divided that we can't even look at our neighbor and ask for this or talk to him or say hey or be cordial, we're living in the wrong kind of society, and we really need to take a step back, man. So love you guys. Hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. I'm about to eat a piece of pizza, go in here and get some NASCAR drivers, baby. That's what it's all about. Stay tuned. Coach Carl DeMasi bringing it to you, baby. The best in the business. I love you. Coach's Corner Sports Network. Happy Wednesday, y'all. I'll see y'all next week. Love you. And as always, baby, Coach loves it when I say it. Wash your hands, baby. Wash them, man. That's what it's all about. Ah.